Greg. It's great to be here at MIF for the first time for Discovery Harbour, so appreciate the introduction. So I'm a geologist. I'm going to talk perhaps less about the markets than some people do and more about rocks and geology. And of course, I will be making some forward-looking statements, as you've all seen this slide before. And the company material can all be found on the website, and details about, we'll also be at the booth all day here as well, of course, as well as tomorrow. So you're here as you're interested in investing or perhaps speculating and making money. And it's the first time Discovery Harbour has been at MIF, as I mentioned. So I think it's really in many ways a new company with a new opportunity for this audience. I've been around long enough and I have made money, but I've also lost money. So there's other factors besides geology that are very important. And I will touch on two key points before I do get into the geology aspect of things. One is the people involved, and I think we do have quality people involved in the company. Again, on our website, you can read the backgrounds of the people involved. I would like to mention Rod Stevens in particular. He's here today. He's the director of the company as of last year, and he's been really very active as far as actively presenting the company more to the markets than we have for some time before. So the company has share structures here on the slide show right now. Very large insider position, 51% for the board of management, plus 15% for strategic investors. Greg joined us as a shareholder here last fall. Thank you, Greg, for that, as well as some other people. Again, much more actively introducing the company to the market than we have done for some time. So moving on to the next slide here. I'd like to talk a little bit about Richard Gilliam, and he is a major shareholder of the company. By the way, we're trading about 12 cents right now, so about a $5 million market cap, so lots of upside in the company, I believe, at this point in time, certainly. And we really don't have a lot of retail ownership, so people like Richard have been supporting the company for quite some time. And if you look at one of the cardinal rules in this kind of presentation is never mention negative. And I'm going to break that cardinal rule right now. We do owe $440,000 to Richard. He's kept the company going through the tough times, as we kept the company going at a minimal cost. And I personally I've known Richard since 2007. I've worked with him on Discovery Harbour since 2013. So I have a very high comfort level working with him. As you can see here, he sold his private company to Massey Energy for $960 million, just shy of $1 billion. And when he did that in 2010, he'd had that company for 24 years. And to the employees, he gave them $80 million, 80, because he felt it was the right thing to do because they'd helped make that company a success. So I personally have a very high comfort level working with Richard, and that we do the right thing by the company as well. So now on to the geology and the property. As you can see here, there's a Caldera property right there. It's in southern Nevada, and at the junction of the Walker Lane and Northumberland gold belts. A number of deposits around this area, including in particular Round Mountain, a large mine owned by Kinross and operating today. They've actually produced now 15 million ounces of gold. So a very good area here. And this is the model that we work with. You've probably seen this before. But essentially, it is a low sulfidation epithermal gold deposit. And you can see here, the gold comes up from deeper with the fluids. This is boiling point. The gold and silver typically come out here. And then the fluids continue to move to the surface, get dispersed. And there's other pathfinder elements like arsenic, antimony, mercury at the surface, and gold as well. So the key thing here is that there's been 142 historic drill holes on this property by a variety of different companies. They were looking for a Round Mountain shallow bulk sample or bulk tonnage deposit. A is the vertical depth of the average drill hole. B is the very deepest one on the property, 194 meters. So they didn't drill deep to the boiling zone. They were looking for this shallow deposit. And they found sporadic gold, but not enough to make a mine. And that is our opportunity, to drill down to the deeper part where the gold will come out in the boiling zone. Some examples of mines in the area. There's Midas with the 35 grams per ton gold there. Sleeper mine, just shy of 11 grams, plus silver credits. Some other ones you're probably aware of, West Haven in BC here with Shovel Nose, Cerro Blanco in Guatemala. So it's a very attractive target for a company like Discovery Harbour to be exploring for and hopefully finding as well. This is the property, very large property, 30 square kilometers. We acquired it from two vendors through an option agreement. We've staked to increase that size twice over the last number of years. We've divided the property into basically 8 areas of interest with different number of targets in each one, a total of 30 targets that we mapped and ranked to date. So large property, 100% ownership, and I think that provides us with a great opportunity for discovery. I mentioned high grade. This shows what they are. Multiple grams. This is reverse circulation drilling. So multiple grams over different 5, 10, 20 feet. So we know there's high grade in the area, and we simply have to drill deeper to find that. A lot of high grade rock samples again from the surface. And here you can see the north by northwest trend, and that's the principal structural trend on the property. So now getting some rocks here. So you can see it's very solidified in this particular area here, one of the property areas we're looking at, and lots of veins cross-cutting throughout the property here as well. This is a rock that I love to talk about, this one right here. And we had this at our booth today as well. But lots going on in this rock. You can see here the heavy brecciation, rock fragments here. The rock, the fluids came up into the system. It's very strong distinct contact with the altered tooth here. And you can see an open space filling there, and then some micro quartz veins as well. So lots of opportunities for gold deposit to be deposited here and for us to find it at Caldera. So just an example of the alteration and the activity that's occurred, and that's what you want, multiple opportunities for the gold to be deposited in a system such as this. And this is a picture of myself on the property this fall. Very strong color anomaly, as you can see here. And our consulting geologist, Mark Backness, who probably some of you know, he took a sample here in the fall. We did it, had it analyzed to low temperature illite. And that's important because it tells us that we're high in the system and the preserved system remains below us at this time. Again, another rock shot here. And here you can see the parallel to the pen are the quartz veins. You can't see them too well on this rock, but they're basically parallel to the pen. And they're cross-cutting calcinic vein here. So again, multiple times when the fluids have come into the rock and alteration has occurred. You can see some nice gold grades here again, 11 grams per ton gold on this altered tuff over here. And again, this to me is a very important slide because what this shows is you can see the original rock here was calcite, and that was basically deposited at the surface of the paleo surface of the area, and now it's been replaced by silica. And again, we've got a sample of this at our booth today. So again, it tells us we're high in the system, and the lower temperature pathfinders come out at this temperature. Gold comes out much more consistently and in greater quantity deeper in this system. Some old timers were mining here years ago, and they were the ones who've created some of the exposures in the area as well. So just some of the shots there. And in the central photo, you can see a very distinct fault. Again, this is a west by northwest structure here. And there was a drill hole here that had close to 38 grams of gold. So again, some very nice intercepts over time, but sporadic because they didn't find really the core of the system. These are some of the two of the key people for myself on the property. Mark Backness in the dark on the left, and also Anamoris Exberic here as well. So these are the people who are some of the brains to make sure we're doing the right things on this property. So where we're going right now, we've got 30 targets we've ranked and mapped, and right now we're doing detailed soil sampling. We should have a news release out with the results of that sometime this month. And we've done phase 1 now. That's already complete. And with that sample, or those results, we're going to integrate it with the historical data, the 142 drill holes, rock samples, the mapping, the structures, and identify the best targets to drill. We plan to be drilling this year in 2020 on the property on those 8 areas within the various targets that are there. The key, we're going to drill deeper than everybody's ever drilled before, down to 300 to 400 meters, maybe 500 meters depth for the vertical length. Looking for that place where the gold comes out most consistently. Final slide here, the takeaways, basically 9 reasons why I think that right now Discovery Harbour is a good opportunity. The first 3 relate to the company, good insider ownership of the company, strong board of directors with good track records of being active in this industry, and we're newly focused on the broader market. This audience in particular here, we've really not marketed this company strongly for some time. Then the other 6 reasons relate to the gold. It's a very fertile, high-grade system. It's preserved at depth based upon the evidence we have right now. Strong structural preparation. We own 100%. And 30-kilometer property squares So a very large property. And finally, we've got 30 targets, so lots of targets in 8 different areas. Thanks for your time, and it's been a pleasure talking to you. Back to you.